teach the children, teach them the very best we can. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. Na 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 na. The world won't get no better. We gotta change it now, just you and me.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning, friends. We are broadcasting from Perry's Joint. That's the name of this spot we're sitting in. It's actually a really cute little cafe sandwich shop on the Altadena-Pasadena border. I'm Dominique Diprima. James Farr is here with us, and we are blessed to have a bunch of community members who are telling their stories. This broadcast brought to you by Fire Justice, and we also have some snacks and treats that were provided by some Altadena businesses that need your support. So, James, tell us who brought those delicious donuts, and the coffee is on the way, right?
Coffee is on the way.
We had a coffee emergency.
Coffee emergency. No, but we want. Well, I was told not to say the organization that provided them, but if you look just to your right, he's sitting right next to you. That's Brandon Lamar, Project Passion. Thank you so much, Brandon, for always showing
Sorry,
up.
Brandon. James can't hold water. If you wanted it to stay a secret, you should have told me.
Right.
It's the truth, and we tell the truth.
James is going to be James.
Well, it's great to talk to you again, Brandon. We were here on these microphones about a year ago, a little less than a year ago by the time we hit the ground here. You hit the ground day one. 365 days later, what's your assessment of where we are?
To be honest, I was telling my wife this yesterday, from what we saw the night of January 7th and the morning of January 8th, I didn't believe that we would be where we are today, just to be honest with you. And people in previous disasters, even as we go forth, we spoke to a lot of people from previous fires and so many other things, and their community is not looking like what our community looked like right now. Their community did not come together like our community has came together, as we've seen in the last year. And so I think one of the beautiful things that we're seeing in our community is the resilience of our community coming together. It is the community literally shaping each other and showing up for each other. And one thing that I've said before, and I believe I said it on your show the last time, is the thing that this disaster has really taught me is that if we really wanted to, we could house every homeless person. We could feed every person that's hungry. We can literally raise money to take care of every single need that our community has. This is what it has taught me. But it also has taught me the beautiful thing about community, and that no matter what class you are in, no matter who you know and how you know them, when disaster strikes, we are all the same.
Yeah.
And so, a year ago, I did not believe we would be in the position that we're in
When
today.
you say you didn't believe we in the position we'd be in now, you mean you thought the community would be worse off?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, from seeing homes, and I mean, not even just seeing homes on fire, but seeing homes actually blow up.
Yeah.
Because gas was still on, and no water in the fire hydrants, and no sight in some areas of the fire department, and no evacuation. So I thought we were going to be well far off than where we are at this current moment.
So you're relatively optimistic. I mean, it's a huge disaster. You can't just flip a switch and make everything come back the way it was, but you feel like it's moving.
I believe it's moving. I believe it's moving slowly but surely. And there's a lot of hopeful and inspiring stories that is coming out of this. But also what I tell people is that everybody is in different positions. And that is what we're seeing right now 1 year later, is that people who did have insurance are not being treated right by their insurance company. So they're doing everything right, but still not being treated right. People who did not have enough insurance, even they just had enough insurance to mediate their home or remediate their home, are now having contractors put liens on their properties because of the relationship with the contractor and the insurance company, right? So there's every person in our community is in their own specific situation. So while others have hope, there's some people who are literally, and actually a lot of people who are still battling with what to do next. I just spoke to somebody in Mexico just 2 days ago, and they haven't received any help because they're all
Now,
the way in
this is someone
Mexico.
from Altadena that's in
Someone's
Mexico.
from Altadena that's in Mexico right now because that's the only place that him and his family could go.
But that's where they had a place to stay.
Yeah, they didn't have any insurance, so his mother lived out there, so he
right,
moved
not
that
like
way.
like many people who could go to, Moreno Valley or Inglewood. I mean, it's. I was talking to L.A. Mayor Karen Bass, who is not over this area, but one of the things she said to me is people in L.A. underestimate how many people from Altadena are now in South L.A. Because that's where their families are. So that was one of the scary things about, well, can this community stay together? Will the people, be able to cohese back into a community when people are in Mexico and, Palmdale and Inglewood?
I mean, that's just LA County, but
Right.
we've spoken to people that are in Atlanta, North Carolina, Texas, because they couldn't find housing here
They
at
go where
that
their
time.
people are.
They go where their people are, and that's what we've seen. Even if you look at the fire, it happened in Palisades that morning of the 7th. We didn't get it to that night or starting in the morning of the 8th for some people. And so when you look at it, a lot of people from the Palisades already had taken up all the hotels in Pasadena. So families in Altadena couldn't even go across Woodbury to get hotels because they were all taken up already. So they had to go to South LA. They had to go to the Inland Empire. They had to go to Palmdale, Lancaster, just to get away from what was happening in this area. And that shows you the lack of resources that we have even here locally. And we ain't even gonna talk about price gouging, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, and it's a story that does need to be called out because supposedly that's against the law.
Yeah.
I haven't seen or read of much enforcement. Have you, James?
Well, I spoke with District Attorney Nathan Hockman just Monday, and he has insured Altadena, though I have little confidence in it, but he has insured Altadena that he will be investigating any contractor that participates in any level of price gouging.
I mean, contractors, landlords, there's
Right.
lots of different places that a person could be, hotels.
So what we're talking about right now is actually landlords. There's a person that we're working with right now. There's actually two people, but one of them has a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house in Pasadena that they're paying $10,000 a month for.
What?
That their insurance is covering, and their literally insurance is drying up because the amount that the insurance gave them is drying up because of that $10,000
Because they're
a
paying
month.
such a high rent.
So, Dominique, people's assisted living expenses, which is what some folks will typically have for 1 year, 12 months. If another instance, maybe 18, maybe 24. But most people are coming up very short effectively in the next week or so.
And I mean very short.
Very short.
Meaning, when you say coming up short, that means when the insurance runs out, they're not going to be able to keep paying for that spot.
That mean when they got the insurance, it was the anticipation that that insurance will last up to 1.5 to 2 years. But because of how the prices are now, they're only lasting about 7 to 10 months, if that. And that's what's happening. So when you talk about price gouging, you talk about the district attorney, to your point, there has been little to no oversight of gouging in our community. It is happening, and it is happening big time within our communities.
I hate that so much. Hopefully, the district attorney is listening. We're streaming, by the way, on Instagram. Ariana's here; she's got us streaming. So if you can't make it out to Altadena, Pasadena this morning, if you can, you're welcome to join us at Perry's Joint 2015 Lincoln. But if you can't, you can join us virtually on Instagram. And James, I'm going to pass the mic to you once again to introduce our guests.
We're pleased to have the Emerson family, Jarvis and Elaine Emerson. And I know we've talked about a lot of the problems, but there is some hope and there is some joy. So I won't tell the great news that they'd like to share. I'll allow Jarvis and Elaine Emerson to share that story with us.
Welcome. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. As James says, we have some great news. Because of our fabulous contractor, we are about 100 days out from moving back in our place.
Wow. Wow.
With all the stories that within the last hour I'm hearing, my heart is just so grateful as to where we are, and a lot of the nightmares that our family, Altadena family, has endured. I'm just so grateful that I don't have a lot of nightmares, because I was just also so devastated at what happened, and it being no water and our house burning down to the ground. It was just the most overwhelming experience to go through. So I'm just very grateful as we sit. It's 175 days. It could be another 150 days if need be, because it is moving. And the fact that it is moving and we'll be back hopefully soon is, I'm just very grateful for that happening.
It's amazing. And I'm guessing that you had a lot of the same kinds of obstacles that Brandon and others have described, wrestling with insurance companies, permits, the county doing what the county does. How were you able to plow through some of that stuff?
Well, as the saying goes, the squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Oh, so you're a squeaky wheel.
We were, and
right
so,
away.
Right, and so what I did was is that the moment we started hitting pushback and pushback and pushback, they would hear from me every time they said push me back. They would hear from me the next day. They would either see me or they would get a phone call with the tax assessor. Approached him and he was like, well, send me an email. Well, I forgot to tell him I keep a laptop in my car. So the moment he said send me an email, I sent him an email immediately. And so just stayed on them. I would not let them give me an answer and thought I was just going to sit back. But we did hit pushback. And as James and you guys alluded to with the ALE, with the assisted living, that is definitely a fear. It's because when we left Altadena, we had to go out to the Inland Empire to San Bernardino, because they said, well, there's nothing in Pasadena. And then from there, they moved us into Glendale. But where we are, it's not cheap. And so the fear for me, and let me take that back. I really don't want to deal in the issue of fear.
I got you.
Is that I don't need that money to run out.
Right.
It's because then I have to pay my mortgage as well as pay rent.
I'm smiling because Sahara Ali is here. She's a contributor every week on my show, and she always tells us, she does Mindful Mondays on the show, helping us get ourselves together for the week ahead. She's been working with some of the survivors of the fire, helping them get their minds right for the fight ahead, and we love Sahara so much. But she always says, focus on what you want, not what you don't want. And I saw you making that adjustment. I'm not going to talk about fear. I'm going to talk about what I want, which is I want this money to last until we can get back into our house.
Right. And let me say, Jarvis is being very nice. Jarvis has connections and has been doing the work of community for a very long time. And so, and not to discount anybody else, but before people was asking the county to take on permitted costs, the first person that I heard say that in a quiet, still voice in my ear was Jarvis. And then people started getting pushed to do it because Jarvis was whispering in everybody's ear to do this. And so he is definitely an advocate, not only for himself, but also have been for our community. And I think that's also what gives hope, is that you have people who are in positions, whatever positions that they may be, they're doing their part to advocate in many ways.
That's a great point. I mean, it's one of the things that's so special about this community. We're broadcasting from Perry's Joint. It's beautiful here. And you know what? There's more chairs. You guys don't have to be shy. You can come on up and have a seat. But you are welcome to join us. We are also streaming on Instagram at KBLA 1580. James Farr, Dominique Diprima, and the incredible community of Altadena live on this 1 year since the disaster of the Altadena Eaton Canyon fires, live on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique Diprima when we come forward.
KBLA Talk 1580 is pleased to partner with the Empowerment Congress once again for their 34th annual summit. The summit's theme is From Vision to Action, a forum to unlock participatory democracy, and will feature a nonpartisan gubernatorial candidate forum focused on issues of importance to the African American community. The summit is the signature public policy-oriented observance of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy during the national 3-day holiday weekend that celebrates his life. This year's summit will be held on Saturday, January 17th, 2026 at the California Science Center in Exposition Park from 9 to 11 a.m. Admission is free, but registration is required at KBLA1580.com. All major announced candidates for California governor for the Democratic and Republican Party nominations have been invited to participate in the candidate forum, which will be moderated by Tavis Smiley. An all-star panel of journalists will pose questions to the candidates, and the forum will be broadcast live on KBLA Talk 1580. This is going to be a big year for local, state, and national politics. The political pulse of 2026 beats on KBLA Talk 1580.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I gotta fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're gonna be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PATH25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PATH25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PATH25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code PATH25.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique Diprima on First Things First.
KBLA Talk 1580. What's up, y'all? Are we here? Are we awake? What's going on? We got up early this morning. We're broadcasting from Pasadena, Altadena. We are grateful to Fire Justice for sponsoring this broadcast and making it possible. We are in this for the long haul. James Farr broadcasts every Saturday. The Conversation Live, Altadena Rising. It's at 10 o'clock in the morning every Saturday on KBLA 1580. And it is something that we pivoted to immediately after our initial broadcast, just to make sure we always had our eyes on this issue and that we wouldn't act like some other folks in the media who can, have a pack mentality, right? We run to a story and then we run to the next story and your old news. And Brandon Lamar, we were talking about that because right now, as we hear these stories about folks running out of assistance to cover their living costs, a lot of people still trying to pay the mortgages on their burnt down houses while paying for their living expenses in real time. You were saying that resources are still needed, and maybe they're slowing down. If people are re-inspired by the stories they're hearing today, or just by their own memories of a year ago today, what should they do to help?
Yeah, so I think, just really continuing to put these stories out in front of the community and in front of the United States is the biggest thing that we can do, right? You have folks in the room like Heavenly Hughes, I think I saw, and then Michelle White is here somewhere.
Yes,
and
they'll
some
be joining
others
soon.
who have specifically done distributions and continuing to do that. But I also just spoke to Pastor Manny last week, and the drive at his church is actually last week is next week for them, their last drive, because distributions and stuff to distribute to our community is drying up, and now people are actually going into their funds to be able to buy these things. And so those are things that we're seeing right now that is definitely needed. Funds to pay rent, right? Funds to help families look, there's literally hundreds of people that are still in hotels and Airbnbs right now in this moment, and they need help getting into apartments, condos, whatever they can do to be more sustainable. But also the thing that we're seeing is that aside from gouging, is that you're requiring seniors to have a 720 credit score. You're requiring seniors to pay make 3 and 4 times the rent to even qualify to be in your apartment unit. And so these are the things that are continuously happening, which is why we're saying that resources are still needed. Zaire is here as well, and he says it all the time. We're not where we used to be, but at the same time, things are still needed right now. Funds are still needed. Our community still needs to support. And I think this is what we want everybody to understand, is that just because we are a year out, don't forget about us. Don't forget about the community. Don't forget about what is happening. Because
So where would we make the donation? I mean, would we go to, a neighborhood servants? I mean, we've heard so much about some big charities collecting monies that may not make it to the real needs.
So you have a lot of organizations that are going to be a part of this show today that are doing amazing work. My organization is Project Passion, and that is the where we've been focusing on disaster and helping families. We just put 130 families. We paid for their 3 months rent in the last 60 days, and so
incredible.
You have organizations like mine. You have organizations like My Tribe Rise, Neighborhood Servants, Extreme Athletics, who is here, and so many other organizations that's making sure that our community has what they need in this moment. And I think what we have to understand is that it is the small organizations that are in our community that's going to make sure our community is taken care of, not the huge ones.
I'm smiling because that's what I always see.
Yeah.
Right? It's the ones on the block, the ones that live in the community that make a difference. And I know that Mr. and Mrs. Emerson, you had a couple points you wanted to make before we make it to the bottom of the hour here. One of them was about your insurance company.
I would say one thing that we were extremely blessed that we had an insurance company. We had an insurance agent who would call us, would send me emails just to check on us, and really helped us to get to where we are. But the one thing that he taught me, and my wife and I, she can definitely attest to this, is that I have advised people is that if you do still have a house, is go through and list everything that you have in your house. Make sure that you take pictures, because being in our house for the decades and now having to list those things to get back to the insurance that we lost is extremely difficult. Having to try to remember all of that is you think your list is done, and then you remember, I forgot to add this. So you have to go back through and add all of that. And also is that to really check your insurance policy, because the insurance will not tell you everything that's in that policy.
So you may actually have more help there than you think you do?
Yes.
We found a considerable amount of money that the insurance company did not tell us was there.
Just failed to mention.
Yes.
Right. And so until, you just really go through and look, and just really hoping and praying that while the light may not be as bright right now, is that people do not let the light go completely out. One of our things is that we refuse to give up. We refuse to give in. We will be back. And just encouraging others to, as you see our home go up, use it as inspiration to know that your home will go up as well.
Well, congratulations to you, and thank you for sharing that good news.
Thank you.
And Brandon, we can find you on Brandon Lamar. We can find you and Project Passion on Instagram.
Yeah, BD Lamar is my Instagram, where I post all the time, and then Project Passion's Instagram is Project Passion INC.
Thank you so very much. Thank you for the work that you continue to do, the inspiration, and congrats on getting back into your house shortly. We are going to meet more folks. We're going to tell more stories. We're going to have more information. All that after news, traffic, and sports on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. No testimony today in the trial of Adrian Gonzalez, the former Uvalde school police officer accused of failing to act during the 2022 shooting. A witness changed her story, prompting the judge to dismiss the jury until tomorrow. Jason Goss, attorney for Gonzalez.
The prosecution has to turn over everything that they have, including any statement that might be inconsistent with what a witness has said before.
Gonzalez faces 29 counts of child endangerment. The Trump administration plans to freeze over $10 billion in social services funding to 5 Democrat-led states, including Minnesota and New York. Officials say child care funds will be withheld nationwide until states prove spending is legitimate after fraud allegations. And Mary J. Blige is extending her partnership with Lifetime for 3 new films. The first, Be Happy, premieres February 7th and stars Tisha Campbell, Russell Hornsby, and Mekhi Phifer. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers are 13-5 on the road after winning at New Orleans Tuesday night, 111-103. 30 points each for LeBron and Luka Doncic. LeBron also had 8 rebounds and 8 assists in 33 minutes. The Lakers are in San Antonio tonight. LeBron will likely get the night off. At age 41, the Lakers are considering resting LeBron in the second game of back-to-back games throughout the season. The Clippers start a 3-game road trip tonight in New York against the Knicks. The Clippers have been playing a lot better lately. They are 7-1 in their last 8 games. In that stretch, Kawhi Leonard is averaging 35.4 points. This Friday at 6 p.m., Out of Bounds is moving to prime time. Join me and my co-host Neil Scarborough for 60 minutes of sports chatter with some black folks flavor. And you can be a part of the conversation at 1-800-920-1580. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is pleased to partner with the Empowerment Congress once again for their 34th annual summit. The summit's theme is From Vision to Action, a forum to unlock participatory democracy, and will feature a nonpartisan gubernatorial candidate forum focused on issues of importance to the African American community. The summit is the signature public policy-oriented observance of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy during the national 3-day holiday weekend that celebrates his life. This year's summit will be held on Saturday, January 17th, 2026 at the California Science Center in Exposition Park from 9 to 11 a.m. Admission is free, but registration is required at KBLA1580.com. All major
right,
announced
folks, so
candidates
I
for
got great
California
news.
governor for the Democratic
The
and
coffee
Republican
is
Party
really on
nominations
its
have been
way.
invited to participate in the candidate forum,
However,
which will be
he did go to
moderated by
Columbia.
Tavis Smiley. An all-star
But he
panel
did
of
get
journalists will
pulled over
pose
by
questions to the
passing
candidates,
police.
and the forum will be broadcast live on KBLA Talk 1580. This is going to be
They
a
were looking
big
for you,
year
though.
for local, state, and national politics.
So Tony
the
is back
political
on
pulse
his
of
way.
2026
I told him to
beats
say
on
he knew Rick
KBLA
Love, but
Talk
it was too late.
1580.
It was too late after that.
Looking for something new? Try fencing, the Olympic
I
and
wouldn't
Paralympic
trust- never
sport
mind,
that
I'm not
mixes
gonna say that,
speed,
but Rick
strategy,
is
and
with
fun.
us, and Rick
It's
is
like
a-
chess meets
Rick is one of
cardio.
our
Quick
good-
feet, quick
good-
decisions,
good-
and a
good
satisfying
retired.
beep when you score a point. Kids, teens, and adults can start anytime. No experience needed, and many clubs have loaner gear. Coaches teach fundamentals and safety from day one. Find a beginner class near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing. That's usafencing.org/tryfencing.
Picture this, you're on a date, and then bad breath happens. Confidence gone. Here's the truth. Most gums and mints are just bad breath Band-Aids, but not Zellman's Minty Mouth. The functional breath freshener you swallow. Tiny dual-action capsules with mint on the outside, parsley seed oil inside, clinically tested to fight the toughest offenders, even garlic and onions. It's only available online. Go to Zellmans.com, Zelmins, Zellmans.com, code FRESH for 15% off.
It all comes down to this, folks. Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain. Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast. Speaking of fast, did you just see that play? Yeah, he vaporized that ball. That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Looking for something new? Try fencing, the Olympic and Paralympic sport that mixes speed, strategy, and fun. It's like chess meets cardio. Quick feet, quick decisions, and a satisfying beep when you score a point. Kids, teens, and adults can start anytime. No experience needed, and many clubs have loaner gear. Coaches teach fundamentals and safety from day one. Find a beginner class near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing. That's usafencing.org/tryfencing.
We're not for everybody, but we're for everybody. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
Listening to KBLA Talk 1580. How y'all doing? We are broadcasting from Perry's Joint, Altadena-Pasadena border here. We are marking 1 year since the devastating Altadena-Eaton Canyon and Palisades fire. We have been tracking this because we are KBLA. We are unapologetically progressive, unapologetically outspoken, unapologetically black, and we will be standing with our community as long as there's a community to stand with, because that's what we do. If you haven't checked it out, James Farr has a show on Saturdays, Conversation Live, Altadena Rising. It's on our station every Saturday at 10, and it focuses exclusively on the recovery, the advocacy, and the rebuilding. So I'm being joined by another great group of folks here from the organization My Tribe Rise. Heavenly Hughes is here, and they've been working since day 1, day 0.5, to bring back your community. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Dominique Diprima. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you, James Farr. We're thankful for you bringing us all together. To see all the community here today also puts encouragement, healing. This is a good moment for us. Thank you.
Some fellowship.
Fellowship,
I
yes.
love that you brought that up, because we always want to be part of the solution. We don't just want to be taking up space, hanging on. And so if fellowship and community connectivity is one of the things that we can offer, then we're doing something we want to do. Tell me what you guys are working on right now with My Tribe Rise.
With My Tribe Rise right now, we're working on bridge financing. I heard some of the families share today how the additional living expenses or the ALE is running out. So we know we need some type of financing to help our community members, our survivors, hold on until we are recovered through the litigation. And so we need some interim funding to help pay for the housing and the rents and those costs that our survivors are experiencing right now.
So where are you looking for that? I mean, are you going to corporations? Are you raising from individuals? Are you having bake sales? Like, what are we doing here?
You know, what we're doing right now, what My Tribe Rise is doing, and even myself, I just flew in this morning from San Francisco. We have a film called All the Walls Came Down, which is specifically about Altadena and the recovery and what has been happening each step as we're navigating. And I use those opportunities to share how there is a desperate need to support the survivors here in Altadena, Pasadena, specifically to preserve and protect the Black community here in Altadena. So we've been able to use that film as a tool to bring in financing, which has helped us with our bridge financing program. I think we've already distributed over $900,000 this year. And that has been given directly to survivors to help bring some relief, some stability in the interim.
So, I mean, it's what we heard early on is that a lot of what's needed is are gift cards and cash, and not necessarily a sofa if you don't have a house to put it in.
That is exactly right. So that's why we are sure that when people come to like our power luncheons, we had our 33rd power luncheon at the end of December. Every luncheon we give out at least $15,000 in direct cash assistance, whether it is gift cards or actual grants, because that's what people need. They need money.
Yeah, and it absolutely makes sense. We're being joined by a couple well, actually, we'll start with you, Mr. Gordon, because you're not just a resident and a survivor of this disaster, but you're also over the Pasadena Community Coalition, so you're also with a community-based organization. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me today. I want to get through a couple of things real quick because I usually have a lot to say, as you know, but I think I want to make some quick points that will help us kind of define where we are, because we keep asking that 1 year later. Winners. Who are the winners this year? Poverty pimps, numerous nonprofits that got money for nothing, with no direction and no connection to our community. That's not everybody, but there are poverty pimps here and they know who they are, and I'm calling them out today, and some of them will get named in the future. Real estate investors and predators waiting for us to give up and sell out. They seem to be winning in concert with no build back funding. Make no mistake about this. All this money, hundreds of millions of dollars that they sent out, where was the money to build our houses back? When I asked pointedly the people that had $100 million, and here in Pasadena, and I won't name the agency, but I will later, I asked them, where is the money for us to build back? One of their spokespersons told me, who told you that that money was to help you build back? I said, who the hell, I'm sorry, who do you think you're talking to? You mean to tell me you raised $100 million and that money wasn't to help us build back? What was it for? And they said, basically 1,000 pairs of shoes and some gift cards. Accountability is what we need. It seems to me they may be, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it seems to me that they may be in cahoots, with the predators, saying, guess what? If these black people in particular do not have money to build back, then guess what? We can come in and take their property, and we can get rid of black people out of Altadena, period. So I want you to look at that $100 million. I want accountability for that $100 million. And one of the accountabilities I want for every nonprofit out there, whether they're a poverty pimp or a real true, because there's some real true people out here doing the work.
Right, okay, and I know you have some points you got to make, but I want to interject here because you're calling out community-based organizations, but we also know that some of the local small community organizations are the ones without official funding that are doing the work.
That's the point.
And saving lives. And so how do people know the difference if they want to, if they want to donate? Nobody wants to give money. It's why I always give to small organizations and have it go into the abyss.
That's the point. The point is, Here's these big organizations. They're getting millions of dollars.
Right.
And
you
then
don't
you
wanna-
have somebody who's actually doing it, and nobody wants to give there. They want to give to the bigger
Right.
organizations.
So to be clear, when you talk about poverty pimps, you're not talking about My Tribe Rise.
No.
You're not talking about Project Passion. You're not talking about neighborhood servants.
No, those people are in our community and live here and work here and do here. But there were over hundreds of nonprofits that had nothing to do with Altadena, nothing to do with us whatsoever. They got lots of money, and I haven't seen a dime of it. And neither have many of the people in our community. So that's who we're talking. We're not talking about the people who are part of our community. We're talking about the many people who are not part of our community who got money. We're not talking about my tribe rise.
I want to chime in really quick on what you said, because the local black communities, brown communities, they are also being attacked. I just read an article from the House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan. They talked about 4 local organizations here in the Altadena, Pasadena that has been established way before the fire, and even talked about the fact that we're focused. They brought up My Tribe Rise, saying that we're focused on the black community, and I want to let that representative know we will continue to be focused on the black community.
Well, I mean, yeah, so you're talking about the Trump administration and their investigations of the charitable giving and charitable organizations, but we know that's not going to be helpful. They're not going to do what you're calling for, Martin. What they're going to do is attack anybody who's helping black people and say it's DEI.
What they're raising, Dominique, is the disaster economy and disaster capitalism and all the predatory activities that happen in between that. Money goes out, it never makes it into the hands of the people who need it most, and I can't tell you how many hundreds of times I've heard that story. I think what Martin is saying, without saying, is that some of these CBOs are effectively gentrifying this community.
I mean, I got that. I thought that was pretty clear. I just want to make sure, since we're sitting in a room with people that are
we
that
got
are
good people.
CBOs. Yeah, you know that, but I just want to make sure that we're not spreading misinformation.
KBLA wouldn't have them at the table if they wasn't right. Listen, we already know that, and anybody out there that don't know that, better ask somebody. Let me tell you who the losers are, though, because I want to tell you who the losers are. Generational wealth, black people who are unable to financially rebuild, which includes me. Generational wealth, we're losers. Altadena renters with limited access to resources, we're losers. We're not getting the money. People like My Tribe Risers going there, Passion Project, that's where we need those resources. Survivors who thought money was raised for rebuilding their homes and gap assistance, we're the losers. Accountability advocates, no one cares as long as they feel good. Accountability for some of these people is a joke. Now the good, the bad, and the ugly. You want to know the good, the bad, and the ugly? The good. Initial nonprofit survival events were awesome. We needed them. Information events we needed them. Rental assistance, relocation assistance, we needed them. Providing cash assistance, we needed them. Information hubs, we needed them. The bad, lost vision for recovery. No transition to rebuilding our freaking homes. Continued funding for non-survivor nonprofits and pop-ups. Lack of accountability. The ugly. Black people being pushed out of their homes and communities. That's the ugly. Blacks told to take 50 cents on the dollar from Southern California Edison or risk losing their homes. And some people will have to do that. You bet. Oh, I have something in here from what James said. Thousands of wasted dollars on products that nobody needs anymore. We need to figure out what that means. And if you got those wasted products and they're not here for survivors don't need them, let's go down to the Rose Bowl, put all that stuff together, and give it to people in Pasadena and Altadena, because we all need damn help. That's the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Okay, we're going to continue this conversation when we come forward. We're broadcasting from Perry's Joint. We are marking 1 year since the Altadena Eaton Canyon fire. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep talking about this. This is not a one-day only conversation, but it's an important day, and we want to stand with Altadena in this moment. KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique Diprima when we come forward.
Protect yourself from Medicare card scams. Scammers may call, email, or even knock on your door claiming they need your Medicare info, asking for money or threatening to cancel your benefits. Don't fall for it. It's a scam. Remember, Medicare doesn't need to verify your information. They already have it. Medicare won't charge you for a new card and will never threaten to cancel benefits. Check your Medicare statements for suspicious charges and report scams to the California Senior Medicare Patrol at 1-855-613-7080. We're here to help.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the voice of reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project. Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail, because freedom should be free. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where everybody is somebody and nobody is a stranger. You belong here.
I'm Dominique Diprima, broadcasting live from Perry's Joint. We are at 2015 Lincoln in the city of Pasadena, right adjacent to Altadena. You are invited. The coffee has arrived and the conversation is flowing. We've got a great group of folks here with us and more to come. James Farr is joining me. I'm Dominique Diprima. Our own Sahara Ali is in the building. She just happens to be a resident of this community, so that's a beautiful thing. And hi, Sahara.
Hi, good morning, KBLA listeners. I am so excited to be here in Altadena, Pasadena, to support the fire survivors. I was at the Collaboratory last night doing sound healing. I was working with Mr. Lamar at the Harambe Center, and I am so open and available to all the survivors. My office is on Marengo below Del Mar, and please come in. I do sound healing, we do meditation. My husband is a therapist, and we are here for the fire survivors to celebrate them, to help recalibrate them, to help refocus their vision and to give them some hope and some courage and some inner strength so that they can survive and transcend and elevate and keep going, because Altadena is so beautiful and it's generational. And it's so important that we hold the foundation not only for the ancestors that have opened the space for the community to be what it is, because the history of Altadena is built on the backs of indigenous people, and we need to keep it. All this gentrification, all of these lies and deception that is around healing and building, and they are not looking at the mental health that is happening because of all the stress and all the bureaucracy about trying to rebuild, trying to bring their home together, trying to find a balance and to find their lives.
Yeah.
And it's so important that we remember that we are our brother's keeper, and I'm willing to keep my brother and my sister.
SaharaAli.com, SaharaAli.com, or you can stop by and say hi. She's here. She's sitting.
Check out Black Earth Wellness. Black Earth Wellness has more information about our sound healing process. And my husband's name, Rashid Jabri. BlackEarthWellness.com.
BlackEarthWellness.com. Heavenly Hughes is here with us from My Tribe Rise. And you were talking about this push right now, which is kind of a perfect follow-up for what Martin Gordon was saying about a foreclosure moratorium and a petition to force Southern California Edison to at least make an initial payment to the survivors of this disaster.
Yes, actually there are two parts that we were talking about. It's the freeze on foreclosures. You can find the petition at allthewallscamedown.com, and it's with the Eden Fire Eden Fire Survivors Network. They did a press conference, and there are several organizations. We're standing with them, demanding that Southern California Edison provides $200,000 now to be able to help our community members hold on until the final litigation, because we already know this litigation is what's going to make us closest to being whole, to do our rebuild of our city.
Okay, so they can sign the petition at allthewallscamedown.com.
Yes.
And for the foreclosure freeze or moratorium, that's just really about reaching out to lawmakers?
Yes, it's actually set up to be sent to the governor. We need the governor to make a statement, put something in place to freeze foreclosures. It feels like these things actually should have already been in place. I mean, here we are, we're having this catastrophe of a fire when Altadena and Pasadena, we've seen fires throughout our lives. I mean, I've been here for 50 years. There should have already been certain things that were going to immediately be put in place, like a freeze on foreclosures.
Right, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm reading that's up to, 30 to 60% of these properties so far are going to investors. We'll call them gentrifiers. We have another survivor here. I don't know, James, you want to do your thing?
Absolutely. We are welcoming a retired Pasadena police officer, commander, actually, Rick Law, who has just been one of those, oh boy, I keep finding one of those community members that has been serving this community for decades. And one of, when we think of peace officer, when we think of community policing, we think of Rick Law and the legacy that he has left. And that's a compliment coming from me, Dominique, as you know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. How you doing? Good morning, Rick.
Thank you, James. Thank you, Dominique, for being here. Take that opportunity to thank God for being here, because a year ago, it was give and take trying to get out of my house, fighting embers, fighting down power lines, fighting people running down the street trying to get away from their burning homes. So it's been a long year.
Yeah.
But all due thanks to God, because there's also some positive things that have come from that. Organizations have stepped up. I don't know about anybody else, but they've stepped up and helped me. Brotherhood Crusade, Said the Entertainer, who sponsored 22 cars and I was one of the 22 because I had 2 cars that burned down. Another organization from Los Angeles, it's bigger than us all. From Crenshaw and Mall, a lot of the clothing I have came from them, their donations. They were instrumental in helping me and a host of others.
So apparently they're Dodger fans.
No, they didn't give me this. I had to buy this. But I'm okay with the Dodgers. It's okay.
For sure.
So, but that sounds terrifying. I mean, you're fleeing your house, jumping across power lines, and where are you now? Have you decided what you're doing? Do you know?
Yeah, you know, I thank God. My sister, who passed away 3 years ago, we hadn't put her house on the market. So luckily, I'm still in Pasadena.
Wow.
I submitted my plans about 2 weeks ago, so they're at the planning stages now. And a little drama they're giving me, but, you know, with God's blessing, we'll get through that also.
And by they, you mean the insurance company? The county?
County.
The contractor?
The contractor's good. It's just the planning folks. The insurance, they were initially treated me well. Now it's a little give and take. That's why you hire an attorney to fight some battles with you. So.
Yes, indeed. That's why we have experts and advocates.
Absolutely.
We're, as usual, just so many great stories and important information, and hopefully folks can stay with us. We're up against news, traffic, and sports here. I know, Heavenly, I know you got a jet. Thank you so much for joining this morning.
Thank you all so much. Thank you, KBLA, for having us.
Yes, we'll have to do it again.
Yes.
In the studio or at Perry's Joint. Maybe we'll just take up residence here. I want to thank Fire Justice for sponsoring this broadcast, and we'll continue the conversation after news, traffic, and sports, only right here.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. No testimony today in the trial of Adrian Gonzalez, the former Uvalde school police